stop listening now.
So you want to start the show?
You know what I actually think we should have? We should have like a real abrupt little. You remember how we used to have the tunage? Do we still have the tunage?
The music?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so used to it. We should have like a tone too. Like when we change stories, like in today's news, doo 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 or something. You know.
Oh yeah.
You want to do a mix on this, is what you're saying.
Well, just that.
Well, no, he just wants to
want that doo doo doo.
He wants to add jingles in between the segments. We don't have too many segments. Is the only issue.
Yeah, but we could like pretend. On to the next part of this same story.
Well, this is episode 182 of Day One Patch Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Johnson. Matt Lawrence is here.
Greetings.
Adrian Petty's here.
Hi.
Chewbacca's over there.
Chewbacca.
Snoopy and the FAO Schwartz Bear. So.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking video games this week.
Video games.
Some of those in video games include movie adaptations.
Vidya games, Matt?
Such as the Uncharted movie. We have updates on that. Mass Effect Andromeda seems like it's done in terms of single player at least and future updates. Jurassic World Evolution has been announced at Gamescom. PlayerUnknown Battleground has hit a milestone and becomes a partner with Microsoft to be published on the Xbox One.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
And Sea of Thieves will feature cross-play between Xbox and PC players. So those are some of the stories coming up. We'll be talking about those later. We're going to be starting with what's new. Does anyone have any new things to say?
Started the Call of Duty private beta today.
Actually, I had a question. Now, other private betas, they don't let you comment on it. Is this one...
This was all over Twitch.
No wordage saying anything?
It was all over everything.
All right, then tell us about it.
Pretty good. Well, because I think, as a side note, I think it's because this is a private beta by pre-order.
Mm-hmm.
So, pretty damn fun. Still Call of Duty, so it's still like that. It's not going to like totally change back to like the
Which
Call
I
of
wasn't
Duty.
expecting because they still have a major fan base who wants to feel like this is Call of Duty.
I agree. Like it's been a while since I played Call of Duty. The one thing I did notice right off the bat is it's still very quick. Like the thing with Call of Duty, and it's not really a complaint. The thing about Call of Duty is that I don't feel like I'm in a battle.
Yeah.
With something like Battlefield, now I almost exclusively play Operations. To be clear, things with Battlefield 1 is I feel like I'm a part of like just that, an operation. So I'm like, we have to clear out this bunker because we have to get to the next objective. Whereas Call of Duty, I just kind of run around and do stuff. And there is the war mode.
It's more arcadey.
Yeah, exactly. There is the war mode, which is on our channel, by the way. There is the war mode, which is supposed to be more like that, where the one that's there is you're supposed to do, depending, like, assuming you're attacking, you're supposed to attack a command post, take that over, then I think it's build a bridge, and then you destroy some ammo depot, and then you escort a tank up to the enemy base. I don't know if it's in that order, but that's so like I mean it's more so like that, and there's like weird things like you can like build cover, you can of course build the bridge and stuff like that, so it's pretty cool. But I've already found myself getting frustrated because like there are players that are just amazing already. And like I'll like poke my head out for like sometimes I won't even like notice my head is out, and it's like oh okay respawn oh okay.
But again, this is the Call of Duty pre-order private beta, so you're getting the hardcore of the hardcore Call of Duty fans.
Absolutely
playing this. There's only going to be expert players on those servers.
I do find though that there is some balancing to be had. So for an example, like I mean I'm not amazing at Call of Duty by any means, but like I'm okay, and I went 0-18. I actually ended up just quitting the match, didn't even finish, because I just unlocked the M1 Garand, and I was hitting people. Like I'd like have there'd be a guy in front of me, I shoot 4 bullets into him, and like got hit markers on all of them. Turn around, shoot me once in like the leg, and I would die. So like I find that like I think like at this point, I think the SMGs and the semi-auto snipers are actually a bit too overpowered for me.
I'm sure that's what this beta is actually for. It's for them to balance.
Yeah,
because I'm not sure how many people actually report glitches or test their servers with people connecting and seeing how people actually play the game, and then they can make minor changes because they're only like a couple months out, right?
That's the thing. Well, like I mean, the game runs pretty good. The end game screen takes a while to come up, but I'm sure that's because they're using like a test server to like track all this crap, right? But one thing that's pretty interesting, actually, so there's a headquarters mechanic, and we don't know really much about that as far as I know, but there's the divisions mechanic. So what that is there's like different divisions. There's like the infantry, the airborne, the mountaineers, I think it is, and then there's like the French resistance. Like they have specific names, and they give you perks. So it's like the airborne can have a silencer for submachine guns. The infantry can have a bayonet, stuff like that. So it's kind of cool because it's not traditional classes. What you do is you have to unlock, you have to earn unlock tokens by leveling up and stuff, right? And then you have to unlock the different divisions. So you're given one for free. So I chose infantry. And then I chose infantry. And then you can only choose, or then you like go through and you just like choose stuff, but then your other classes are not traditional. So what I mean by that is your one class is your one division. And then if you want a new custom class, you have to like purchase. You can like purchase like an airborne division to get your SMGs.
Okay.
Now I think you're allowed to have multiple infantry classes. To be clear here, like I haven't gone through this super extensively, but it's pretty cool that there's like the uniqueness. So it's like right now, for example, I have infantry and an airborne. So I like if we're getting destroyed, up close, I'll like go to the airborne because I can put a silencer on my submachine gun and move in there. And so that's pretty cool. And then there's of course your pre-made classes, and I think there's one of each division, so you can try them out, sort of thing, without purchasing it. But it looks like there's no, at least in the beta, at least it looks like there's no nonsense in terms of like I can't even like really grasp what they were trying to do with. I think the last one I played was Advanced Warfare, and you remember those like really weird skins we would get where it's like all gold and pink and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and they just really didn't fit in with Call of Duty. Like, there's none of that nonsense, for as far as I know. And
with the pre-order though, you get like a zombie's skin for your gun or something like that.
See, as I was about to say, I'm wondering whether either I'm just not, I haven't seen it yet because I was mostly just playing, not really messing.
You probably
around
have to unlock them in later things, right?
Unlock them in later things. Another thing though too is you level up your gun. That's how you get achievements, or sorry, not achievements. That's how you get attachments. So you want a sight, you have to use that gun to a certain level, and then you get your new sight.
And you said there were Canadians in this.
Yeah, so the Mountaineers are the like Canadian Mounted Division or something like that, and they're the snipers and the stealth guys.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so
Well, I mean, we do carry the record for like the top 3 out of the 5 longest sniper kills.
there you go. So
Adriano, what's new?
Meh.
Whoa, that's it?
Oh wait, no, I got.
and then he dives into it. Wait a second.
I got 2 SNES Classic Edition.
Oh yeah.
Pre-orders. Not 1, but 2.
And what's hilarious is Tim got one online
Tim
by
can,
total fluke again.
whatever.
With your luck though, Adriano, they might just be like, come the day that it launches, they'd be like, oh, we don't have any records of your pre-orders.
I got receipts. So I got that, which is super exciting. I've only been playing, I've been playing some Overwatch. I played Destiny with you guys.
We finished Destiny.
I've been meaning to go back and do the 3rd expansion, which I will do.
And you should try.
Are you gonna hold off on that? Hold off on 2 until you do that?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, because I pre-ordered 2, like it's for the day of release.
I was gonna say I'm not gonna wait for you.
We all have a pre-order now, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
So we can go into that as soon as it comes out. So whatever I'm not done, I'm just gonna delete it. The only thing is though, you did digital.
Digital.
Okay, so you guys are preloading it. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. The problem is, mine's gonna be a disc, so I'll have to go get it. And,
I'm not expecting to play it the first day. I mean,
well, it's also you're at work that day, so
Yeah.
I can go in and just. I can fucking leave work, go get it, go home, run an update, and then go back to work.
I'm gonna play it the first day, but I'll just make a new character. It's not that big of a deal.
I also pre-ordered Gran Turismo Sport.
With that console, right?
No, I can't. It's not in Canada.
The GT.
that's
console?
odd when they have like locations. I mean, maybe they buy the game more in Europe and
Isn't GT made in Europe?
probably.
If I had to guess, probably. But they said those controllers are also available for sale separately
In those locations, though.
in those locations. So I'm assuming that if Sony smartens up and brings that console over to North America, they would also bring those controllers over. Also, that means I can possibly I don't know, are controllers region locked? Like that's not a thing, is
I don't
it?
think so.
Yeah, so I could also just bring one over if I really wanted it. Then I'm probably going to pre-order.
Also, didn't they take away region locking on PS4?
Did they?
Right?
Oh, I actually
That's a good question.
I have to bring something up about that regarding Nintendo. So I'm probably also going to pre-order Battlefront 2 Deluxe Edition because you and I were talking about that today. get some Star Wars socks with our pre-orders. But
Is that a real thing?
yeah,
That's weird.
EV and Best Buy are giving you 2 pairs of Star Wars themed socks.
They're
with your
probably
pre-
cheap, man.
Oh, probably. But Nintendo announced that on Switch consoles, they'll let you make and like manage a second non-region account. So they'll like let you make a Japanese account right on your Nintendo Switch account.
So you
Yeah.
can play
And
Japanese
so you
eShop
can,
games?
So you can tap into the Japanese eShop and the eShop, which is
What's weird is that I actually just recently played one. Tim brought his like Switch over, and we were playing the Japanese X Monster Hunter. Or something?
yeah. So like that. That's because like North Americans can't get a hold of that. So I'm like, finally, I can start playing some Japanese virtual console games, which I've wanted to play for a while.
How many? Like I didn't look at the store or anything, but how many Japanese consoles or console exclusives, I guess, are on there?
Probably quite a bit. I
Yeah.
imagine they get a lot more games than we ever see.
Yeah, they also have different versions too. Like Super Mario Bros. 2 in Japan is not the same as the Super Mario Bros. 2 in North America. You know that, right?
I did not.
All right. So Super Mario Bros. 2 was made in Japan and it came out first. And what it was pretty much Super Mario Bros. All over again. It had to follow the exact same style. That old side left to right Mario Bros. Look.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mario Bros. 2 in Japan followed that style, followed the same level format, and all they did was just ramp up the difficulty. Okay, they just made it a super difficult game, and because it was difficult, they didn't release it in North America. They actually took another game in Japan, which is called Doki Doki Panic, which is not a Mario property, and they brought that over and they replaced all the characters you would have played at in that game with Mario characters.
What the heck?
So that's why when you look at Super Mario Bros. 2 in the North American version, it is very different from rest of Mario Bros. Like it doesn't feel like a Mario game because it isn't. So then what was Mario Bros. 2 in Japan came over here as Mario Bros. The Lost Levels.
Okay.
So like
Isn't it just like language though? Like it's just like a language barrier. Like it's weird that they would be like, "Oh, we need a new engine, we need a new game." It's like, why don't you just translate it?
But no, it wasn't translated. It was a difficulty thing. They thought the game that they had would be too difficult for Americans.
Oh, literally the game difficulty.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
That's weird.
yeah. So or just like other difficulties, like I want to play the Japanese version of Castlevania 3.
And that's apparently very difficult.
No, it's the American one. They ramped up the difficulty on the American one because
Oh, okay, that's weird.
because they wanted it so you couldn't beat it in a weekend. So if you rented the game from your local like Blockbuster or whatever it was back then, they didn't want you to beat in one weekend, so that you would go buy the game on Monday to finish it.
What's hilarious though is like games weren't very long back then.
Yeah,
they were only
they had to
long
make
because they were difficult.
Yeah, it was like 10 levels maybe. And then,
Yeah.
The first Castlevania is only 6, but the fucking 6 of the most difficult levels you'll ever play.
I bought Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. I've been playing through that. It's a great another Uncharted game. Kind of seems like it's flying under the radar. I think only the fans really kind of care about it.
So is it considered a DLC pack or a standalone?
No, it's a standalone $50 Canadian game.
Okay.
So
Is there any DLC pack with any other Uncharted game or any other DLC at all? Or is
story DLC?
Yeah. Or are they just all one-off?
I'm not too certain. I know there's definitely multiplayer DLC
Yeah.
because the multiplayer is actually pretty popular.
The Uncharted multiplayer is popular.
Oh yeah, big time.
Okay.
I don't know if people are still playing like 4 as heavily as they are, but
I didn't
but
even
it's
know that there
super-
was a multiplayer.
Yeah, it started with 3, I think. Introduced the multiplayer, and everyone really liked it. It is fun. I played it a bit. Hell, The Last of Us multiplayer was freaking fantastic. I don't know if you played that.
That was cool. Yeah,
That was really fun.
especially when hook it up to Facebook.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, it was like actually a cool feature.
Your
yeah.
friends would be like dead.
Yeah.
Martin Isaacs died last night. It's like, oh no.
I'm pretty sure in my game, Adriana got dysentery and died.
I don't know.
What? I didn't okay any of this on my Facebook account settings.
Wait. So what you do is you log into the multiplayer with your Facebook account, and basically every time you go and play like a match in The Last of Us, you're fighting for supplies for your own like group of survivors. And if you fail and stuff and don't give them enough supplies, people will slowly die off. You'll be like, oh, your village was raided because you didn't have enough defenses or whatever. And you'll be like, Adriano got like stabbed or something and died.
Or dysentery.
Yeah. And so it would use your Facebook friends as like your own survivor group.
What about our pictures?
I don't think pictures are there.
No.
No.
I think it's just the names. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought it was pretty fun.
I find that kind of weird.
Yeah, that you were in my game without you knowing.
Yeah.
But it's not like no one else can see it. It's still your
It's public
viewing of
information.
your information.
Yeah, it's public information for sure.
Well, not necessarily public, but you're the only one who's going to see it.
Oh yeah, but I mean like
People online aren't going to see your friends on Facebook.
but your name, I mean, is public information
Oh,
if you're
Matt,
on Facebook.
I made a terrible mistake. I'm getting
Oh, I turned that off.
Oh my god, I'm getting notifications for all of Discord right now.
So to explain to the audience here, Adriano joined a Discord chat, and there's a crap ton of people in there, and he did not turn off the notifications. Just turn them off.
Well, I don't want to turn off for every single one though. You can turn off for each individual one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that later.
Good old Discord.
All right, let's hop into the news. Speaking of Uncharted, the Uncharted movie still trucking along, I guess. They've been working on this for quite a while. It's gone through multiple, I think, directors, multiple writers, multiple casting. I think we're finally on something that's pretty somewhat set in stone. Tom Holland is playing a young Nathan Drake, which is, I think, fascinating. I'm not sure what kind of move that is for his career, since he's popular as Spider-Man right now. You know, to go on to a potential, you know, traditionally video game movies don't do well. So for him to go from like Spider-Man to this movie, I don't know.
I don't think he's going to be like attached to it.
No, but it just sucks. I think the problem with video game movies in general, though, is that no one commits to them. No studio wants to spend a lot of money to actually make it a good film. They just say, "Oh, here's $50 million. There you go."
Yeah, there's a point in which like if your project is having so much difficulty, even getting off the ground, it sucks. But it's like, okay, you know, that's it.
The reason why Iron Man and like the first Spider-Man movie did well is because they actually invested in it. They actually treated it like it was one of their big movies, you know.
Yeah.
Instead of just, we'll see if it becomes a hit, and then we'll make all the money we can once it actually accidentally becomes a hit, which it never really does. But anyway, yeah, Uncharted. Apparently, the director is from Stranger Things and Night at the Museum. Name is Sean Levy. He's going to be directing. We've got Tom Holland playing young Nathan Drake, and I guess it's going to be a prequel, and it's going to be a story we haven't seen yet. So it's not going to follow any of the games.
Is it going to be canon?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is kind of nice. And he also said that he's trying to make an Indiana Jones type, despite it being kind of an anti-Indiana Jones character. Indiana Jones is all about the history and saving the artifacts, and he wants it in a museum, whereas Nathan Drake's kind of in it for the glory. But Indiana Jones isn't in it for the glory.
No, you could see the appeal though, because or the common points, I guess, because Indy usually has like a sidekick that's interested in the money or whatever. So just take Indy out, and you still have a similar adventure. You know what I mean?
Right. I just find it funny how everyone compares these tomb hunting genres as similar. Like everyone compares Uncharted to Tomb Raider, even though they're both third-person action adventure games, but they play very differently. But everyone compares them simply because they're both about finding treasure. And it kind of annoys me a bit.
Well, it's the same thing as Infamous and Prototype. They were constantly compared.
But those were more identical. I
would when I saw somebody play Prototype, like I remember people were always like, Prototype's way better than Infamous, and I was like, and then I saw like I never actually seen Prototype minus like very short clips, and I was playing Infamous at the time, and then I went to like somebody's house and they were playing Prototype. I'm like, that's literally not the same game. Like I could enjoy both equally. It's totally different.
Yeah, I don't. That's another good point too. I don't understand why it's a this or that type of scenario.
Yeah, it's like, well, Prototype's way better than this. I'm like, I don't know if it is.
Although Prototype kind of was bad. I tried it.
People loved it, man.
I know they did, but I tried it. It was not that good.
I will say
Infamous was far superior.
The thing is, though, is Infamous to a lot of people was bad because they didn't stick with it. It's really awkward even moving around the city in Infamous until you start leveling up.
Yeah. I could go for another Infamous game. Insomniac's doing the... not Insomniac. Is it Insomniac?
That does Infamous?
No. It's not Insomniac. Insomniac's doing Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
Who was doing Infamous?
Yeah, who used to do Infamous? That's a very...
I know the name's right there. Like I can...
Tip of the tongue. Tip of the tongue twister.
Adriano has no idea, but
Adriano.
No, I never played Infamous.
Infamous.
did you have a PlayStation when it came to PS Plus? You had a PS3, I think.
I had a PS3, but I didn't have PS Plus.
Oh, okay.
Sucker Punch.
Sucker Punch. What are they doing right now? Do we know?
I don't.
I doubt it's another Infamous, but
It could be.
the last one kind of got panned.
But it was a launch title. Of course it did.
I thought it was a good game.
Spoiler alert. Do you care about Infamous?
Nope.
Okay. Spoiler alert to the audience then.
3 years ago.
Even still, you slowly earn the powers. The second one's the best. The first one is a good starter. The third one's okay, and the fourth one, which is supposed to be all powerful, they dumb it down for you, and like the boss has like the ultimate power.
That is a problem.
And
yeah,
it's
you're
really
right.
like I never used concrete. That was stupid.
Yeah, because Cole, it was like all about electricity and stuff, and you had there's a wide variety of attacks he had in the second game. You know,
Second game was pretty solid.
in the combat, the melee combat was pretty good too. But then it's like you took an expert in electric powers and took this guy who's like a jack of all power trades. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And it just there was nothing special about anyone in particular. You know what I mean?
Well, I actually
You kind of find the one you like, and that's the one you use.
Well, the thing is though is like I was saying earlier, one of the hardest things to do in Infamous is running around. And the neon was so good for running around,
Yeah.
which is great because you get it second. But then it was also great for combat.
Right.
So then, in like a lot of cases, it was like, well,
just keep it on,
I'll
yeah.
just stay on neon then.
Yeah. Look cool too.
Yeah, and then and I think that was probably a fan favorite considering First Light or whatever came out. So
You know, it's funny. They were in Seattle in that game, and they had the Space Needle there. And apparently, to put the Space Needle in their game, you had to follow certain criteria. Certain things can't happen with the Space Needle, I guess, in your game.
okay,
And one of them was you can't jump off of it and die. So that's kind of perfect for a superhero because he could
Oh,
he
he
could jump
can't.
off and just land or like hover down or whatever. So I thought that was kind of funny. I remember them talking about that. I think during like an E3 or something like that. Anyway, Uncharted. The director has said that for me, it's the fact that the game is awesome, the spirit of the game with the action set pieces, its imaginative setting, and above all, the kind of rogue swagger of Nathan. Those are things that I think make a great film. And he said he had his aha moment when speaking with Tom Holland. And he said he kind of put it really succinctly in saying, if we do an origin of Drake, Tom Holland as younger Drake, that is something that we haven't seen as the plot of any of the games 1, 2, 3, or 4. We've seen a snippet of an origin of Sully and Drake meeting in the past, but here's maybe an opportunity to do treasure hunting action movie with attitude, and with a protagonist and chapter of a protagonist's life that you can't get for free at home or by just playing the game. So I think that's where they kind of landed on their prequel thing. I wonder if they're going to stick with if this movie does become a success. Do you think we'll see a sequel with Tom Holland, and he'll just grow into being the older Drake?
Nathan Drake Chronicles.
Yeah,
I know you said that there's like a legitimate reason for them doing a prequel, but I feel like they did it a prequel because it's a video game movie and they're afraid. And if they do it far enough back, they can just kind of line up with the canon without really affecting anything.
yeah. And with some of the other actors they wanted to hire, like Chris Pratt, I think was up for the role at one point, and he turned it down.
He would have been a good one.
Chris Pratt, yeah, I was going to say,
But he would have been an older Drake, obviously.
Yeah.
He couldn't be a younger Drake. I don't know. We'll see how the younger one does.
I want to know. I want to know if it's one of those things where comic books translate well to a movie only if you take the movie take the elements and then make it into a movie.
That's literally what you have to do. Yeah.
But I'm wondering with video game movies whether they're trying to be too honest, I guess, with the things that people notice. So, for example, with the Assassin's Creed, people are like, anyone who plays Assassin's Creed is aware of Leap of Faith, and they had to say it in the movie.
I know.
You could have just not said it.
Yeah.
What? There's no reason for you to say that. So stuff like that.
No, that always makes a movie worse. They think they're doing fan service.
That's not fan service.
But I always cringe when they do that stuff.
If he did a Leap of Faith without saying it, that's different. It's like, oh, okay, Leap of Faith.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, one of the things about comic movies is like they're different mediums. Comic books and movies are completely different mediums. And you have to treat them not as a comic book movie, but you simply treat it as a movie with the same like elements, like the same characters and stuff. But you have to make a movie. You're not making a comic book movie. I think you need to make a movie. Where they screwed up with like the original Hulk film. What was it called? Was it Incredible Hulk or was it Hulk first?
No, I think it was just
I thought it was
Anyway,
Incredible Hulk.
maybe.
The bad Hulk movie.
The first
They literally
one.
had comic book transitions in it.
Yeah, that was a bad movie.
And it was just disgusting.
The Eric Bana one.
Yeah. And so it was just a disgusting movie. It made me sick watching that movie.
Jesus, I saw it in theaters.
Made me sick.
It was horrible. But anyway, so like that's one of the things I have a problem with Zack Snyder is he said he's a comic book director. I'm like, that's not good.
You should be a movie director.
should be a
that,
movie
that
director.
interprets a comic book.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, that's my little soapbox.
What did the director, if she said anything of Wonder Woman, say? Like, did she say how she like reconstructed?
Oh, I don't know.
Because I wonder how she took it. Like how she took
how
it
she
on.
succeeded where every other DC film has failed.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Be interesting. Because maybe she does do the same thing as him in just a different way.
Yeah, I don't know. You guys follow that James Cameron thing though?
No,
I read the headline. I actually didn't read the article.
He said that Wonder Woman is actually a step backward for women in positive roles. He thinks that Sarah Connor is a better female protagonist.
Oh, this guy needs to
no,
guy
Tone down his ego a bit. Yeah.
fucking high horse. And
the hell I don't care if it's I don't care about anyone. I don't enough with these arguments about stuff like this because like you're literally like sitting there one day and you're like I kind of want to be offended about this thing. Okay, let me look in the media. Wonder Woman, yeah, all right.
He wasn't offended. He was just saying that he didn't like how Hollywood was patting themselves on the back for making a good female lead movie. When he in his mind he thinks she's still objectified.
This is what I mean though is like I think he's not alone. I think people are fishing at this point.
He's missing the mark too. You can still be attractive and still be a positive role model. Because he kind of brought up that Sarah Connor isn't like a beauty model, you know.
Yeah,
and that she's broken and she has to struggle and she's tough, but that you don't need those things to make a good character, you know.
It's a real strange topic these days, I think.
Yeah. Anyway, she commented back and said basically what I was saying. So, yeah, we'll see where that goes. But hopefully,
do directors fight like this a lot, or is this just like friendly director talk?
No one was angry. He still said the film was good. No one was really. He wasn't really bashing anyone.
Is this what directors do? My question, basically.
I don't know. Now, James Cameron, he's made like the 2 top grossing films of all time. He's just kind of.
And we're going to see one of his films on Sunday.
Yeah, one of his good ones.
Terminator 2 3D.
Yeah,
is it in 3D?
That's the whole point of this.
Oh, I didn't know it was in. Why was it only $9 then?
Because it's like an event.
It's also an old movie.
Yeah, and it's only out for a
3D.
week.
I thought they would have just at least kept it at regular price at $12.
Nope. Pretty good though.
James Cameron, everything's gonna be 3D for him now. Right?
To be fair, I think like when I see a movie that isn't in 3D, it's like that's
It's weird.
awkward. It's
yeah, it's weird. Yeah.
It's like where's my glasses? I'm supposed to have my
No,
glasses.
man.
No, I prefer it to not be 3D, but when I don't see one because it's so common, it's like, where's my glasses?
You know, like
Where's my IMAX?
when we went to go see Annabelle, and
Was that 3D or no?
nope, it wasn't, and it was in leathered reclining.
Oh
seats.
yeah.
Yeah, those are pretty sweet.
I do-
Pretty sweet.
I do hate that moment when you're in the theater and you're like, I didn't grab glasses. Is this movie in 3D? And you got to double check to make sure
Yeah, yeah.
you don't want to look like an idiot when the thing pops up. Please put on your 3D glasses. And you got to go run out there.
I've done it before. Oh,
I've
there
done
we
it. I
go.
don't think that's ever happened to me. The only thing I've done, I've never forgotten them, but I have dropped them behind my
Underneath
seat, and it's just like, well, I have to get up again to get another
into
pair.
the sticky abyss. You drop
No,
them
no,
down
no.
there?
I did. Yeah, it's sticky bits, but I would not get them. I just would go get another pair. Like they'll get them when they sweep the fucking floor.
All right, next up, Mass Effect Andromeda will not have any more single-player updates or DLC. So that game is effectively finished. I guess they're still going to support the multiplayer for a bit, if anyone's playing that. But Adriano, you were waiting to hear what their plans were, if they're going to have a season pass, or you wanted all the DLC out before you played it, so you didn't miss anything.
Yep.
You can play it now.
Yep. And it's dirt cheap now too.
Yeah,
So I guess
Base price or on sale?
perfect time to buy.
just regular price. They like brought it down to 40.
It's on sale every now and then too.
Yeah.
They're trying to sell that for
Yeah.
thing.
You know what's strange is that game. Like I've never played much Mass Effect. Played the first one a little bit, but like you,
Second
Ryan,
game
didn't
is
mind
so
it.
good.
You didn't mind it.
Yeah, the one of the guys at EA actually came out and said that it was over criticized, and I completely agree.
Yeah, because you said it was okay, but like in comparison to the original, it would be like, eh.
Yeah.
But if this was the first Mass Effect
If
game,
this was the very first Mass Effect game, people would be like, "Oh man, this is fantastic."
yeah. So like, you said it was okay. Alex, one of our buddies, said it was okay, and he's huge into Mass Effect.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I only know many other people play Mass Effect other than Adriano, but he haven't played it yet. So like,
Yeah, I was waiting because I love the other Mass Effect trilogy. I love Asterix, the other Mass Effect trilogy, minus the ending of the third game.
Right.
But like I read all the novels and the graphic novels and played the spin-off games. But yeah, I was waiting for DLC, but I guess I have no reason not to. But I also just bought and installed Prey, so I should probably play that first.
but do you know what's strange about this though is that unlike a lot of other games, they didn't put the season pass on first. So I almost feel like they were ready for this to fail.
You think so?
Where they were just okay.
Again, people
woo.
like when a bad film comes out, the studio knows it's a bad film.
But
They
this
sat
wasn't
down
a
and
bad
watched
game,
it
though.
too.
But was this
No,
a bad-
but they probably knew it wasn't as good as the other Mass Effect games.
this goes back to the thing though. I think we were talking about this a couple weeks ago, where this studio, it's its first shot at it.
And that studio's gone now.
You will not. But like the thing is though, is you will not make as good of a thing as the people who've done it for 3 games and multiple years.
And
you will not do it.
The team that made the original Mass Effect, there was like that's BioWare's like best development team. Do you know what I mean?
That's what I mean. Like you're never like if there was an Andromeda 2 or something, a new one, I'm sure it would be a step ahead.
Oh yeah,
Because
I
there
think
were
so.
like facial. I remember hearing a lot about the animations. So they would fix the animations, and then it's like, now what? Now what do we have on the plate to bitch about?
And
You know what I mean?
that's just a stupid complaint too, because yes, the facial animations should have been fixed, but to like complain as heavily as people did, and then it was a bit much. That doesn't ruin the gameplay. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't ruin really my experience with the game. Having simple like weird facial animations, which the original trilogy had all sorts of weird animations.
Yeah, it was. I mean,
Shepard looked like a fool most of the time.
I'm about to say my Shepard looked like I made my Shepard, and then when he was in the game, he looked different.
My first Shepard looked like Hank Hill.
Oh my lord!
Yeah.
I-
If I could put glasses on him, he'd be Hank Hill.
I kept mine base Shepard because if there's like a character on the front of the box,
But the
that's
Shepard,
going to be my Shepard.
But the Shepard on the front of the box of the first Mass Effect is not even the base Shepard.
Does he have a helmet on or?
Nope, he was a different character model. What they did was halfway through development, they decided to change the base model for Shepard, and they picked a new actor, new model, but they never changed the art. It's if you look at the because he doesn't take up most of the cover. He takes up he's about third of the height, and he's only about in the middle.
Yeah.
He's not the main Shepard. He's a different looking Shepard. Yep.
I would have liked the Andromeda 2, though. I'm a little disappointed that it got such much backlash that they had to disband the studio. And
This vote goes back to, and I don't know whether this is an EA thing. Kind of seems like it is at this point. With the Medal of Honor, is the latest Medal of Honor. I can't remember what it's Advanced Warfighter or something, but like the story sucked. But I liked the game.
yeah,
Like I was like, okay, I don't want to see this cutscene. But then I was having fun in the game, and I knew what was going on and stuff. And like, I actually didn't mind the online. The online was pretty fun. It was really unique. You could choose different countries and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I don't know why. Like it wasn't like it. That was too harshly criticized as well, and they just shut it down like this.
I
Well,
wonder-
that's it. Like
I wonder if EA's a little scarred from being so heavily criticized for the last 5 years. You know what I mean? That they're almost too willing to cave to criticism now instead of following through with their vision. You know what I mean?
Well, I was actually wondering either that, or they're trying to consolidate, and that's why they did the Titanfall and the Battlefield 1 right away. They're like, we want one shooter, we want one sports game in each category, we want to consolidate, put all our best talent
Yeah.
together, and just make Madden the best it can be, FIFA the best it can be.
But also, I don't think they disbanded the BioWare Montreal because the game was bad. I think the sales probably weren't there.
For Andromeda?
That's the only real reason why you would do that, right?
Yeah, probably. Unless like you said, they're literally like just becoming sensitive.
I'm sure they made their money back, but probably not enough to make a sequel. Do you know what I mean? Probably not enough to keep Montreal open to make a sequel.
Do we know what happened? This is not EA, but do we know what happened to the Mafia 3 development crew? Hangar 13?
They're still doing stuff. They're still doing the DLC. There's new DLC coming out.
Oh.
Yeah.
See,
I would love a Mafia 4 actually.
So, but this
because I think Mafia 3 was almost there. You know.
Now you've played both. I haven't played Mass Effect Andromeda. From what I've seen of Andromeda, though, it seems like Mafia 3 had many more glaring issues than Andromeda did.
Yeah, I'd say so.
See, that's my thing is it's strange, and I understand it's a different company. It's strange that Hangar 13 is sort of getting some grace, and like there's people on Twitter that are still like cheering them on.
Cheering on Hangar 13?
Hangar 13, like they'll be like, this new, oh, did you guys check out this new gun or whatever? Like, you know, your typical social media post. And people are like, oh, I tried that gun, it was awesome, blah, blah. But like that game fucking sucks.
But Mafia 3 is a much smaller game.
That game sucks though, too.
Like they don't have the same they probably didn't have the same budget or expectations for sales.
No, but have you ever played a game with lighting issues like that?
No, that was pretty nuts.
Inside of the house? Or like when it's changing from like, I don't know, evening till dusk or something, it looks like literally like hell is coming from the sky.
Yeah. Another problem I had is like the more intimate scenes and like the cutscenes and your character model were a lot more detailed than everything else in that world.
Yep.
And so it was just strange. It's like as you're driving through the world, everything looks kind of bland, but then once you get to like a house where you need to talk to someone, it's all like heavily detailed.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it wasn't a proper balance of trying to work that out.
And the repetition. Oh my god, the repetition was so fucking boring.
Yeah. So Adriana, when are you gonna get Andromeda?
I don't know.
Pile it on the list.
Yeah.
Big old 80-hour game.
Well, wait. Did you actually spend 80 hours?
I don't know. I don't know how long I spent. No.
I wish PlayStation tracked that information.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Although your save should track it. Like if I booted up my save, you could probably see how long I played. Next up here, Jurassic World Evolution was announced at Gamescom during the Microsoft conference. I guess it was a conference. It was more like people talking during their live stream. It's basically a park simulator where you can build your own Jurassic Park.
From the makers of Zoo Tycoon or something, right?
So that's pretty positive that this might be actually a decent game.
Did you play Zoo Tycoon?
No, but I know people love it.
I had the two. I think it was Zoo Tycoon 2, and I had like the two expansions with the T-Rexes and the more exotic animals or something like that.
Mm.
Oh,
they actually added like dinosaurs?
They added dinosaurs. There was a dinosaur DLC, and there was also not a DLC. It was actually an expansion to buy the disc, and because it was old.
Yeah.
And marine animals.
Oh, that's cool. Now I played an old game. I think it was called Operation Genesis. I think.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park, fantastic, loved it. So I'm pretty excited. I'm on board for this one. Do you guys have any interest in this at all?
Yeah, from what I've seen, actually, I was pretty excited. My concern, though, and there's nothing that points to my concern yet, but is we see like mobile games with all this like timers and crap. I don't think you're going to see that in this game, but I haven't played a modern tycoon game. I want to know how microtransaction to this thing is.
Like if you want like a special dinosaur and you pay like a buck to get him in the game.
Yeah, or like, oh, it looks like your park's not doing too well. If you pay $3, you can run a ad campaign.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
And they haven't said this yet, but it's a personal concern.
And this is a console game too, not necessarily only PC. Like the other roller coaster tycoons were PC only, right?
Would you play this on console or PC, guys?
I wouldn't play it on console. I'd play it on PC.
Yeah.
If it was like Tropico controls, I might do it on console. That was pretty well done, actually.
I'm probably feeling console myself.
Really?
Nah, go PC.
If it's multiplayer and you guys get it for PC, I'll get it. But otherwise, I'll get it for console. Anyway, players will take control of both Island Nublar. I guess they're both islands for Jurassic Park. You can take control of them, and you can build your own stuff. You can bioengineer your own dinosaurs and breeds, construct attractions, containment, and research facilities. So it sounds like you can just run a Jurassic Park.
Hell yeah.
And then you can do the thing you can always do. You can have like dinosaurs break out and attack people. And
you got to have like
mass
the helicopters come and take them out.
Yeah, yeah. So that's going to be awesome. Next up, we have PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, which is shortened to PUBG. I guess is what the kids are calling it.
Yep.
PUBG.
PUBG.
It has hit a new milestone and has become a partner with Microsoft to bring it to the Xbox One platform. No word yet of when it's coming to
It was shown at E3,
console.
right?
Yeah, or when it's coming to PlayStation 4. But I believe this is a timed exclusive.
I remember noticing at the E3 press conference, they called it a launch exclusive. They said exclusive, but then the text on screen called it a launch exclusive.
Microsoft cracks me up. Exclusive. World premiere. You're excited for this, right, Jerome?
Yeah.
How come you haven't bought it on PC yet?
Huh?
How come you don't have it on PC yet?
Because then I would have to play with mouse and keyboard controls.
And just get destroyed by everyone else on
get
there.
fucking wrecked. Yeah.
Is there not controller support?
There is controller support, but
No one's
don't-
using it.
Yeah, you don't want to be doing that. You're not going to survive very long in your PUBG.
This is a fascinating game. Kind of came out of nowhere, and the milestone it reached was 8 million, I think, people using it.
Jesus Christ.
Sales have eclipsed 8 million sold. So that's pretty crazy for a game that's still in development.
It's literally just like from what I've seen, it's literally just the simplest thing you could do. Battle Royale, go. You know,
Isn't that the craziest thing? Minecraft, another like kind of sleeper hit that just blew up. You know, is literally just the simplest thing. Build stuff. You know,
I think it's starting to capture the community of. I think it's hard for gamers, especially PC gamers. There's like a core group of PC gamers that only play competitive stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then they like watch Twitch a lot, and they watch YouTube a lot, and they watch their favorite, internet celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
Where like it's hard for those people to get into their 80-hour experiences, but they love games like this because they can spend hours and hours and hours, and then watch their Twitch people play it, or they can do it on Twitch.
Mm-hmm. It still looks like an indie game, which I guess it very much is, right?
It's so it is very clunky.
It looks.
It's not polished yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping by the time it launches, it looks a little better and maybe runs a little better.
But also, people are saying that's part of the charm, though. It's clunkiness.
Yeah, but I mean,
I'm getting kind of sick of hearing that. Oh, it's clunky. That's its charm. It's like, all right, well,
this is why I don't play many indie games. They're just. I'm fine with them existing, and I'm happy that these developers are getting their own creations out. And I wish them the best, but it's just it's not the quality that I kind of want.
the thing is though, is like big guys like Bethesda are clunky.
That's true too.
They're clunky.
That's
They're
true,
really
and
clunky.
a lot of the charm is from how bad their games are.
Like follow me, and then the doctor like turns around and backs up.
No, that's a fair point.
And then he starts walking forward.
Yeah, Oblivion is like it's ridiculous. But anyway,
I was gonna make an excuse for it, but
no, there's
I don't
no
have
excuse
one,
for them. They're bad developers, but they make good games. Last up, we have Sea of Thieves will feature crossplay between Xbox One and PC players.
Yeah.
It's a game you're also excited for, right?
Yeah.
Tell us why you're excited.
Because you get to live a pirate's life. And you go,
Kind of. Only half of it. Only the ships. So we know so far.
Wait, what?
Well, I'm pretty sure it's only the ships.
No.
You can go on land.
No, Sea of Thieves is explore.
Oh, damn it!
You're
I'm
thinking-
getting confused with.
You're thinking of the fucking Ubisoft, the Assassin's Creed. They ripped off their own game,
Yeah.
which I didn't know you could do, but yeah, they did it.
And there's so few pirate games these days, and I've already confused them.
No, Sea of Thieves is completely open.
Hell yeah, I'd play that game. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'll get it for PC if you guys get it for your. Oh, you got to get it for. You got to get it on
My
something.
Xbox One X.
Your Xbox One X or your
You
Windows.
can just get it on PC.
yeah,
and play
your
the
Windows.
controller.
Your Windows 10 portion.
It's not a competitive game.
Yeah.
I have more rubies
I don't know.
than you.
I still need to see more of it.
I want it.
It doesn't look like there's much to do.
I said I want it.
I know you want it,
I think
I
it's a
want it.
podcast game.
but
Turn
then
on a
I mean,
podcast and go loot some.
but if you're
treasure.
multiplayering,
Yeah.
they need to talk.
No, but then that's my audio track instead of a podcast at that time.
I want it.
I'm just skeptical at this point. I haven't played it. The people who have played it said it's amazing and it's super fun, which I'm sure it is. But I don't just want to like sail around in a ship and go to some island, find like a piece of crap.
Why don't you want to do that? That sounds amazing.
If I go to the island and just find like a stupid thing and then have to fight skeletons and then get back on my ship and go back into the ocean, I'm done after that. Why do I need to do that again?
Well, you seem, Ryan, to need an objective.
Yes.
Like game says, go to this place because there's a volcano there.
okay, what if you had a captain giving you objectives?
Okay, but is the objective the same thing every single time?
What if you had a captain giving you an objective?
Okay.
What if I am that captain
Okay.
and you're my first mate?
Yeah.
Matt is the mop boy.
Whoa! Fuck you! I'll just go join another crew and kill you.
Oh man, we mutiny against each other and we separate. Oh,
Yeah. He has a good point. Adrian has a good point though, because we played the Division, and short of the campaign, there's no real direction. And we played it for quite a while in the Dark Zone, and then just doing the other multiplayer.
Yeah,
activities.
Ryan.
So I think that it would fall into the same sort of category.
I haven't played that game as much as you guys have.
No,
but you were in
played
it
it
for
a lot.
quite a bit though, especially after the main game. We ran dailies for a long
Yeah.
Time. Yeah.
There was a small purpose in trying to get better gear, but I don't see that same thing happening in this game.
That's this. I'm sure there's like, oh, you like found these little clues, blah 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 blah. You went to this cave and you found a unique sword. That's cool.
Okay,
That's
my
cool.
problem is I don't just want to be sailing around and then we see some island and say, oh, let's go explore that island,
want to
guys.
attack other players.
And then we all get out and like look at the island. We find some treasure.
That's what. That sounds awesome.
No, because we do that once and then we get back on the ship and it's like, oh, let's sail over there, guys. Let's sail west this time.
No, but
and
maybe
then we
you'll-
find another island and then they go in there. There's a piece of treasure.
Maybe you'll find a town, or maybe you'll find a clue. To
have
point
you seen that yet?
to what?
Have you seen that yet?
But they're definitely not just gonna have it so it's like go here find treasure, go here find treasure.
That's
Even-
all I've seen.
Even if it
that
is
is
that
all I've
though,
seen,
whoa!
though.
Even if it is that though, the environments, in my opinion, are different enough.
Okay, doesn't matter. Ryan, you don't have to get the game. Matt and I will get it.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying I'm skeptical of the game right now because I have not seen enough to say this is a game I can spend some time with. It looks more like a game where you're like, oh, you have a fun ship battle. Yeah, that's fun. You explore island, and then that's the whole game.
It's okay, Matt. He'll
If that's the whole game,
You're gonna be you're gonna be the mop boy now.
Yeah.
that's fine.
You've been demoted, Ryan.
there's
Matt, you're
an
my first
objective
mate.
for me. Mop the deck, and that's all I'll do.
Wait a second here. Wait a second here. If there's microtransactions, you won't be willing to purchase the new ships. I guess I'm captain now.
I'm the captain
I
now.
am the captain now.
Anyway, that's all I got. We got 15 minutes left. You got any?
Did you guys see that No Man's Sky update?
the new update?
The fucking Stargate portals?
Is this part of Atlas or is this like an update to Atlas?
No, it's part of Atlas. Just like it's the whole Atlas update.
Okay, I've not seen that
See that, Matt?
directly.
Nope.
The Stargates in them now.
That's pretty good.
You gonna play it?
Is it identical to the series Stargate?
They fucking kind of looks like them, yeah.
I may
Wow.
have to look them up.
Yeah.
That's enough to sell you. Stargate portal.
There was
someone's like dial this thing, and I'm like, and I do it, and it sounds and looks like the Stargate. I'm like, fuck yeah.
No, but it's not
was-
gonna do that.
Well, what it is, so the video I watched was like you went to this one monolith and it revealed the position of like this portal. Then you go to the portal and then you had like a bunch of symbols. Like they look like the like Pisces or Cancer symbols or the astrology symbols. And then you had to like put those into a dial in a certain order, and then this portal would open up to another part of the galaxy, which is completely random.
Oh man, I may be picking up No Man's Sky.
Yeah, it was looked kind of interesting.
I'm sorry, Matt. You're gonna buy that game just for a portal.
And I'm gonna dial it once and be like, fuck yeah, and then turn it off.
It was on sale last week on Steam. I'm not sure if it still is.
Oh, I can wait. I can wait for sure. But
Anyway, does anyone have any?
I have a query corner actually.
Okay, what is it?
So we talked a lot about the iterative, I guess, console upgrades, the Pro, the X, the S, if that's considered an upgrade.
No, it's just a
4K,
slim model.
4K streaming.
But it's just a slim model.
Yeah, well, I mean, anyway, the 4K streaming wasn't in the original, I don't think, but and the UHD player.
Yeah, but
So I guess
Sony added the UHD to its original PS4 through an update.
Like the hardware discs. I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm talking the HDR.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, anyway, okay.
Yeah, they added the 4K video. Yeah.
So your iterative consoles, regardless of which, your iterative consoles. Now, Adriano over here has been talking about purchasing a PC, or you purchased a PC already, but you want to move your gaming a lot of it to the PC.
I've been trying to, but it seems to be more pain in the ass than it's worth.
Fair enough. But my thing is the whole idea behind you doing that was because you wanted to have like one platform for all time, essentially.
Yeah, I want to abolish the generation. It seems.
So now that we have these iterations, okay, what would bring you to the console space in the same way? Like, what if you were the leader of Sony right now? You have this ideology now that you want all these games to work for all time. What would you do?
Make
How
all
would you
make all games work for all time. That's exactly what I would want.
No, but like how? But the console market's very different. The PC market, it's very clear. Here's your requirements. You need to have whatever this card is. You need to have this processor. You need to have this.
Okay.
The console market, it's hard to explain that to people because people will go, oh, there's a PS4 and it plays a lot of the PS5 games, so I'll do that.
Okay. So if I was the leader of the PlayStation division or Sony right now, first things first, from here on out, any future hardware has to support, like a PlayStation 5 and forward has to support PlayStation 4 games and all other games going forward. So every future PlayStation numerical entry has to support every PlayStation game going back to the PS4. And all digital purchases will exist on every platform going on any account that you sign or any system that you sign in on. All right? That is absolute mandatory. And then I would have a team whose sole purpose is to start an emulation process to get PS3, PS2, and
Wow.
PS games working again. Even if it means doing a Gaikai service like they had introduced, where all those games exist on a server. I don't care. Even if they say, okay, you're technically going to be streaming this game, but you putting in a disc will authenticate the stream for you. So then
Basically, PS Now, but for any game
that I own,
you could have the hardware if you want.
I should if I put in a disc into my system, PS Now should make that cost 0 for that game for as long as that disc is in that system. That is what I would do.
Fair enough. Now, how would you deal with the requirements? So, in 5 years from now, you're going to have a much better processor and whatever. How are you going to teach the public where the cutoff is?
What do you mean cutoff? There won't be a cutoff.
No. So for example, No Man's Sky, let's be serious, as bad as it is, No Man's Sky.
You're about to buy it.
Well, yeah, because I'm weird, but No Man's Sky will not run on like a PS3.
I don't want No Man's Sky to run on a PS3.
But how are you going to teach the people where the cutoff is?
What do you mean teach the people where the fucking... What are
He's
you
saying
talking
he's
about?
saying from here on out, all games will run on all future consoles. That's it.
Yeah.
So now
Backwards compatibility has to be an
Because
absolutism.
my iPhone can run an app from the day one of the App Store launch.
So for example, 5 years go by, you would release a PS5.
Yeah.
There would be PS5 games, but they all would just work. You wouldn't do this Pro and then I don't know, Pro X or something.
I see what you're saying.
Or do you want iterations or do you want a hard this is PlayStation 5 now?
Even if I had iterations, I wouldn't distinguish in the console. I would just be like, this is the 2025 PS6. It is going to have slightly better hardware, but it's still going to just be the PS6. That's it.
I think what Matt's getting at though is you're going to run into problems when, let's say, you're 3 new console generations down the line, and someone still has a current PS4.
That's what I'm saying.
It can theoretically run the newest games, but it's going to run like crap. Or not run at all.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I don't want that at all.
Okay, so
but how do you avoid that?
Yeah,
What do you mean? How do I avoid that? I'm not saying I want that though.
In let's say in 5 years, I buy the brand new
PlayStation something. What is it?
PlayStation 5.
Okay. Let's say in 5 years, I buy the new PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
Okay, and I want to play the brand new Uncharted game on it.
Yeah.
What if someone still has a PS4, but wants to play that brand new Uncharted game?
They buy a PS5.
But does the Uncharted game work on that console, the PS4?
No.
Okay, so he has hard cutoffs with infinite backwards compatibility.
Yeah, I literally want an infinite backwards compatibility.
So-
That's it. If I buy a game from on a PlayStation service, I should be able to play that game on any future PlayStation hardware. Doesn't matter what the format is. And if you're going to eventually release a console that doesn't have a disc drive, you better be sure there's a way for me to digitize that version on my account so I can play it.
So it's not technically like the iPhone. I guess an iPhone does have a cutoff.
It also have cut in each app. It'll tell you which versions it will run on, and it won't. But what all I want is you can introduce a new system, and sure, Destiny ran on both PS3 and PS4, but Destiny 2
But not the same version.
Not the same version, but Destiny 2 is only running on PS4. That's fine. You have to buy a PS4 to buy Destiny 2.
So you're still
going to
have a PS4 game. but PS4 onward it will work.
Sorry, say it again.
So you're like the way I was envisioning it was you're just gonna have PlayStation games. That's not correct. You're going to have PlayStation 4, then PlayStation 5 games, but it only works downward. So if you have 5, it goes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I think I can explain that better. A PS4 game will work on a PS5. A PS5 game will not work on a PS4.
There we go. That's better.
It's literally backwards compatible. It's very simple.
Infinite backwards
It's literally
compatible.
just backwards compatible. It's what we had with PlayStation and PlayStation 2.
Would you do the iterations? Would you do the iterations?
If
Would
I
you have
do-
a PS5 and PS5 Pro?
If there were PS5 Pro, I would announce it, but I would not call it a PS5 and PS5 Pro. I would literally say this is the 2025 PS5.
So you wouldn't have no. What I'm saying is you wouldn't have a PS5 that just runs a little bit better, but like PS5 games will work on both. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, no, I'm saying I will have a console which will run better and it will have better hardware.
Yeah.
And it will still run all PS5 games. I'm just not going to tell the public. I'm not going to say this is the PS5 and this is the PS5 Pro. I'm just going to call them both the PS5. That's it.
Isn't that confusing?
Because your difference is going to be at the price point at the retailer. Your old PS5s are going to be $399 when your new PS5s are going to be $499. That's where you're going to see the difference. That's it. But it's still going to just if the consoles physically look different, that's fine because you have different hardware in there. They're not going to be the exact same, but they're going to both be called the PS5.
Okay.
That is it.
It's tough to say because like it feels like they're moving in that direction of all future consoles will run all previous games because the PS4 Pro runs all PS4 games.
But that's still considered part of the same generation.
You're correct. But it also they built the PS4 on common PC architecture, right? Whereas the PS3 games were built on their cell, whatever the hell it was, processors. And
Very proprietary in any case.
yeah, and it was difficult for developers to get a hang of. That's where there's so many problems developing for the PS3. So it seems like this console generation, they're planning to make every new PlayStation system run previous games. However, developers make a lot of money on reselling you repackaged old games.
Yeah, but Matt.
So what does Sony want to do?
So
which way do you see Sony going?
So
all I'm doing is answering Matt's question. Matt's question was,
Yes,
what does Sony have to do in order for me to stick
that's
to
you.
a console?
no, but Matt's question's done. I'm saying,
Yeah.
All right.
what do you think PlayStation will do? Well, this is for both of you. What do you think PlayStation will do?
Oh,
come the PS5.
Oh, they're definitely going to resell the games. They're just going to be like, oh, but now you're going to buy the game and it's going to exist on your system instead of streaming it.
I actually have a secondary opinion on that. If you remember when the PS4 came out, I think it was the PS4, they said backwards compatibility is thinking backwards. They didn't agree with it. Sony didn't. I'm pretty sure it was Sony. I don't know if it was said in so many words or who said it, but I remember that term was thrown around. And I remember we had a podcast way back then where you, Ryan, were saying that why would you ever go play old games? There should be a cutoff where you just play new games.
Well, that's me personally. I don't play old games.
No, absolutely. But clearly there was a mentality for that. There was a mentality in the industry.
Well, it's always, I think, when they say stuff like that, it's not necessarily that they believe it. It's that they want to sell their console. So to sell to the public, they're not going to say, oh, we like the idea of backwards compatibility, but we chose not to do it. They're going to say backwards compatibility is wrong. It's thinking backwards. You shouldn't do it. That's what they're going to say to sell their console.
No, but
they don't want you thinking that it's a good thing.
But what my thought.
Also, they want you to buy PS Now.
But my thought. Well, sure, for sure, absolutely. But if like let's hypothetically say they go in Adriano's direction in that idealism,
Yeah.
Whatever. So everything's backwards compatible. What I can see them actually doing, and I think they actually can do this with the PS4 Pro, is what ends up happening, as we've talked about before, is a game comes out, a bunch of sales in the first month or whatever the heck it is, and then it drops off, and then like in years to come, it's very few, right?
Yeah.
And then sales maybe bump it up, but it's not like going crazy. Typically, there's some exceptions.
Yeah.
What I think that Adriano's solution would do is actually make more money, and the reason why I say that is this. Hypothetically, let's say PS5 comes out. Adriano's PS5 comes out. I want to play a PS2 game called War of the Monsters, okay? An old one. War of the Monsters also came out on PS4. You can purchase it digitally. I don't know if it's HD, but let's just say it is. So let's just say War of the Monsters HD comes out. That's not what it's called. Let's just say it's what it's called. Okay. I just want to make it clear here. So what I'm saying is I put my disc in to my PS5, my War of the Monsters disc, way back in the PS2 days, and I'm playing it. They are going to, number one, be able to sell me a DLC that bumps up the graphics, or like some sort of upgrade to it or something like that, right? Where it runs better or whatever. And number two, they're going to be able to put new life into those old games by running sales. Even though it's a little bit of life, there was nothing before.
I don't know if they would make more money doing that.
But the way I see it is that not necessarily that particular dev would make more money, but I think in general PlayStation would, because they would be like, oh, we're having a retro fighting game sale, War of the Monsters, and like, I don't know, Street Fighter, the original is on sale. And so people would be like, oh, I never played that, and they'll buy it. People who don't want to go find the disc will buy the digital version. People like me who like War of the Monsters, who have it, will put it in, and I will purchase the $9 HD version. That I can, still use my PS2 disc, but it's an upgrade. Rather than, let's say it's $30 for War of the Monsters HD, it's only $10 extra for me. It's a DLC, essentially, and I still need my disc. You're breathing more life into games in little, like, puffs, essentially.
I don't think that would work.
I think Sony would make more money off that.
I don't think so, because nothing beats the idea of a launch day. So if you were to sell War of the Monsters as a brand new HD title, and they have a big launch, and it's on the front page of the PlayStation Store, big old launch for the new HD version of, what was it called?
War of the Monsters.
War of the Monsters, right?
Yeah.
Nothing's going to beat that compared to, buy an HD version for $10. You have to have the disc already, and you have to upgrade it with this HD DLC. I don't think that would make more money.
What?
Because most people aren't going to want to go play that again and dig out their old PS2 disc, pop it in, and then buy the DLC. They're just going to want to buy a brand new version that's in HD on their console.
No, but you got to remember here that there are a lot of people, and it's not everybody, but there are a lot of people that will try to save money wherever possible. And even me, even myself, even if I'm only saving, $20, if I can use my old disc, and like if I can use my old disc, I'm definitely going to do it. And it's only $9 because with age
I don't think enough though.
No, I don't think it's going to be a lot either. But when they make an HD version, I'm not saying it's just DLC.
Well, let me ask you.
I'm saying that they can have their launch day, but since it's a PS2 game, anyone who plays the original War of the Monsters can have the ability to upgrade.
So you're saying there is an HD version that you can buy without the disc?
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
Just like there is today, like, well, I don't know if it's HD, but it's the PS4 version. You could purchase it digitally on the PS4. Hypothetically, if that was HD today, and I went and took my PS2 disc and assumed the PS4 runs that disc, and instead of paying, I don't know, let's just say it's $30 for War of the Monsters HD, I would only pay $9 and get the upgraded version, but I have to have my disc. So now you're breathing life into those games. Yes, it's small, but there would be nothing before. And Sony's getting a bunch of these old things. There's a reason why Steam, with the exception of certain licensing problems, doesn't take old games off the store. Because they run sales constantly.
Yeah.
How many times has GTA gone on sale and it still has a bump in sales whenever it goes on sale?
Yeah.
It's been out for years.
Like
you're right.
I would love to have a marketplace in a library where it's just like goes back to the beginning of all gaming.
But they don't have to dig out their old disc and then buy an upgrade.
No, you don't have to. If I have my PS2 set up, like, because I like playing my PS2 games, right? But then I buy a PlayStation 5 in Adriano's world, and I'm like, well, I can clear up some shelf space, take my PS2 out, put my friggin' disc in. If I don't want to upgrade it, I could play it in regular
But I think
mode.
the problem is the amount of people who actually use backwards compatibility is very small. It's very small.
But you have to remember that I think it might actually be due to the generational gap. It's because there's a cutoff.
No, but you can keep your PS3 hooked up. That's no problem. My PS3 is hooked up. I don't play anything on it.
A lot of people do not want clutter. A lot of people, the instant they get a PS4, they'll throw out. They'll throw out.
Then
or
they don't
sell
care about backwards
their
compatibility.
PS3. But eventually one day they'll be like we're seeing it with
If they
Nintendo
truly
consoles.
want to play their PS3 games, they're going to keep their PS3 hooked up.
We're seeing it with their Nintendo consoles though. Even if it's 10, 15 years later, you're still seeing a resurgence.
They're buying it digitally, new.
Yeah, you could still do the same thing. Not back to the.
I'm saying
cartridge
there's
days, but-
I think I'm saying there's more money in just making a digital version for people to buy as a brand new item instead of going back and finding their PS2 disc and upgrading it with a DLC.
They don't have to do that. They can just buy it.
I'm saying more people would do that.
That's fine.
It would
I mean,
simply
that's-
be a courtesy to the players to make your version of the upgraded
Yeah,
disc.
but isn't a courtesy going to entice me? Because what's going to happen is if I want to play, one of the monsters, whatever, like that.
But they'll make more money off of selling you an $80 HD version than a $40 HD upgrade.
But won't you feel better as a person, as a customer, right? If you you want to do that War of the Monsters thing, you did it. You didn't want to upgrade, so you have your game for free. And then let's say you want to play another game back from that era, but you can't find your disc. You'll be like, well, I got this other one for free. Like, I'm able to play this one still. I'll buy this one.
I am more willing to, if there was an option between a $40 upgrade and an $80 new, and I have my disc, I know I'm not most people, but I would be more willing to drop the $40
Yeah.
than to buy a new one.
Absolutely.
Just to have it digitally. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate having to re-buy stuff. Like, I think that is fucking crooked. That I've given this company money already, and just because they said, "Hey, we're no longer making this console. We're not only shutting down the factories that made it. We're also hitting off the switches that run the servers for the game. But hey, you can give us more money on this service for you to play it again until we shut this down." Like, that should be fucking criminal. And if they gave me even the slightest little power with consumer laws, those servers for every single digital product would be running until the end of time. I don't care what kind of cost it imposes on the company.
I agree with you guys. I would prefer just an upgrade too, right? Over paying $80 for a brand new game.
I don't even want to upgrade. Just let me put my fucking Gran Turismo disc in my original Gran Turismo disc in my PlayStation 4. Let me play it.
Sure, that's fine. I just don't think from a business perspective that is worth doing.
It is not worth doing, but it's bullshit that they can get away with it.
But
Yes.
the thing is, though, is they can take that scenario a step further. They could add, like, if the developer for whatever reason has enough time to do it, they could add more monsters to play. They could add microtransactions. They could add stuff to the game, and then you can, when you upgrade, you have all that stuff. And then if anyone's playing it, they're going to be, instead of paying their $10, those people that buy microtransactions are going to buy the 99-cent monsters. They're going to buy the $3 maps. They're going to do that because they're nostalgic and they went back.
I don't think it's that many people who do it.
People are buying old Nintendo like crazy.
Yes, they are, but in terms of Xbox and Sony consoles, I don't think a lot of people are using it. Microsoft's doing good with the backwards compatibility, but it's just a big PR stunt. It's just one of the it's them trying to be competitive with Sony because they're losing the console war right now. If Microsoft was on top, they probably wouldn't have backwards compatibility.
I don't believe that. I think that took a lot of effort.
I think it's just a PR move.
But if it's a PR move,
It doesn't make them money.
I think that people are smart enough.
If it doesn't make them money, they're getting it because they're trying to make you buy an Xbox.
I would actually say it makes them some money.
On what?
Not directly, but it comes down to the thing where if you're somebody, I'm sorry, like Adriano, where you have a large collection of games you haven't played yet on 360, right?
No, that's fine.
So you have a big old pile of games you want to play on 360, but you have a couple of games you want to play on Xbox One. You might be hesitant to upgrade to the Xbox One, despite the fact that it's a nicer console. But if you can just say, hey, let's decommission this old 360, let's buy a new Xbox One,
sounds like
and
poop.
when I play it, we can just stick the disc in and play it.
Yeah.
That's making them money. They sold
No,
the console.
but it's only marketing. That's what I'm saying.
No, they sold the console. That's making money.
That's the purpose. But I'm saying directly, it does not make them money. Indirectly, it does.
But like half, I'm sure that a lot of the billions or whatever Microsoft brings in is from indirectly doing stuff. For any company, it's indirect.
Yes, but they're doing it because they're trying to be competitive. They're not doing it as a fan service thing.
I don't know. I get the feeling that Phil Spencer is doing it as a fan service.
I don't know.
Like, sure, there's your corporate component, your capitalist component, but I think he might be trying to do the whole, let's just bring everything under the Xbox family and let's have it so that the Xbox that's after the X will run everything the Xbox One could.
Remember when Xbox Classics, or what they call them, Xbox Originals, were on the 360 Marketplace? You could buy original 3 Xbox games on the 360 Marketplace, yeah.
Oh, well.
And then they took them away for some reason. You can't get them anymore.
That's weird.
You could buy like Max Payne, and you could buy like
I didn't know that.
I wonder if like contracts ran out or something.
yeah, Fusion Frenzy. No, but every game came down one day. Like they were just gone. Everything.
Oh, jeez.
So I don't know why they did that. But they had a lot of Xbox titles on 360.
I feel the same way about crossplay as well. Microsoft's all friendly with it because they're trying to get a competitive edge.
Yeah.
See, I don't. I believe they're trying to get a
This is
competitive
good
edge.
though.
No,
this
no,
is good. It's good for the consumer when companies try to be competitive.
No, but I believe they're trying to get a competitive edge. I don't believe that that's what they're trying to do. I have a feeling they're trying to merge the Xbox One with the PC market. They're trying to get it so that when you buy a game, you buy it from Microsoft,
Yeah.
and it runs for all time.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily trying to beat out Sony.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. It absolutely is.
I don't think that the PC
They're
guys
saying-
cross over too much.
No, but they're saying buy an Xbox console, join us because we have a better service and you can play your games anywhere. That's what they're trying to say.
Okay, that's fair. That's
yeah.
fair.
And I think it's the same with come to Xbox. You can play all these 360 games on it.
I don't think that's a selling point to me. To me, that's not.
It is. That's completely what they're doing.
I think it's a fan
They're only
service.
interested in selling that console and selling you new games.
I think it's a fan service. I think that they honestly would have charged for it.
You're the capitalist here.
No, but I think they
You
would
should
have.
be expecting. This company should only be making money. They shouldn't worry about fan service. They should
Take away
be.
all
They should be
ports,
whipping these people
make
for every
everything
cent they
wireless.
have.
No,
yeah.
but-
Only
but-
Beats headphones.
Yeah.
the fan service in this case goes a long way. I think with gamers it goes a long way. Like giving them a gesture.
What's
like,
the point of fan service?
what?
What is the point of fan service?
To make people happy.
There you go.
No, it's to get people on their console and paying Microsoft money.
But you're not paying them money.
You just said that they were buying consoles because it's backwards compatible.
I'm saying indirectly you could. Indirectly,
That's all it's for.
that can happen.
That's what it's for.
I don't think they would have put this much effort in. I think that Microsoft.
They're trying to be competitive.
I think that Microsoft is much more capable of doing direct marketing and doing things like, hey, let's eat $150 on the consoles, and then give them a gift card for the Microsoft store so they only buy things on the Xbox Live. Let's do that. I guarantee you that would have sold more. This is too indirect, is what I mean. It's way too indirect. It's a fan service.
But when you go console shopping, does that not sound more enticing? Oh, I can play all my 360 games on this. Whereas
does.
Sony, you need to pay $10 a month or however much it is to stream, and hopefully you got a good connection to stream your
How
games.
enticing is you choosing a few games for free off of Xbox's stores? You don't have to buy any games when you buy your new console.
What do you mean?
Microsoft can do that. They could just say, okay, on average it's $80 a
could,
game
but
in Canada.
did they do
it's
that?
like here's 200. No, I'm saying that instead of I guarantee it's a much bigger investment to do all this backwards compatibility crap than doing something like all new Xbox One activations will get $200 and something to cover 3 full game purchases on Xbox Live. You advertise that's much more direct, and that'll get you many more sales. Than
I think
saying you
their
can play your old
marketing.
games.
I think their marketing team knows a bit more about how to sell their consoles.
No, but that's also giving away money, though. That's what they're afraid of, probably. But I honestly don't think it's. I honestly don't think it's a marketing thing. I think it's a fan service.
And fan services for what?
No, I'm not falling into this.
All right, that's it for this episode. It's been episode 182 for Damn Catch Podcast. We'll see you guys next time.
Peace.